Recording in progress.
Alright, so welcome everyone to our stability and balance class. So I think some of you, this is your 10th class with me already this week. So I appreciate all of you that have been coming back consistently. Other than that, we'll start on our feet. Yesterday, this class is on Fridays and Saturdays. So I don't want to repeat everything completely. The balance ones, though, there's not too many options of balance, so we'll probably repeat some of the balance movements, and then we'll spend a little bit more time on the floor today than on the chair, and then we'll also do some shoulder work. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start with like our typical Romberg stance. So feet together, we're here, and just for these that we're just standing, you could always do these sitting down with your shoes on or with your shoes off. Okay, so just depending what you prefer. Let's look left to right. And those of you watching the recording, welcome. Thank you for following up and continuing to do this on your own time. I know sometimes it's hard to just hit the YouTube channel or the YouTube video and then just do this on your own, but it is an option. Up and down. I'm finally using my little fan that I bought purposely for these classes. I forgot about it for the last few days. So we're gonna close our eyes right here. It's really quiet, it's small. That's the amount of airflow that I need in here. All right, and open your eyes. Very good. All right, we're just gonna start off simple right here. So just slow high knee marches. So just drive that knee as high as you can slowly, and slowly back down. You went for a walk today, Jan? Yep. Okay. Miles Square Park?
Yeah, it was exhausting.
Oh.
Everything was stiff, even shoulders.
You're not the only one. Debbie was feeling her shoulders on the last session. I think she still feels them. When we were doing the staggered single leg Romanian deadlifts, my hamstring cramped up. So I think, my body is probably like, what the heck are you doing to me right now? This is a lot. So I think after taking tomorrow off, hopefully next week will be a little bit easier. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do just snow angels, so a little bit of shoulder work. Give the balance component a break right now. So I was running earlier I did 4 miles, and I was listening to a show, and it was just about programming your training and your calendar throughout the week. And usually when I was in high school, we were encouraged to take Sundays off. When I was in college, Sundays was the day where we ran the most miles. Let's bring that right arm across. So Sundays became our heaviest days sometimes. And then after college, when running and training wasn't a priority, pretty much there wasn't no priority what day was gonna be heavy or easy. So, but on this show that I was just listening to, kept talking about having a complete rest day on Monday. Now, with the summer schedule, Monday now is one of my heavier days. So I think I am going to take a rest day from running on Mondays, so I could just focus on these 3 classes that I have on Mondays here. Because on Wednesday I got a little taste of that, and Wednesday I struggled. And Tuesday didn't help because I had poor sleep. Let's go ahead and do our hip openers. So we're going to drive our knee up, out, down, and up. So and I've noticed this week that not to say that we don't work out hard on these classes, but I was always able to complement a pretty like taxing run or exercise after these classes. And right now I can't. Like it's these Mondays and Wednesdays are gonna be tough. So now I have to make sure that for my own personal running, those days are pretty light. And days like today and yesterday, which are easier with the Zoom classes, I think those are the days that I'm gonna prioritize a little bit more. Let's switch more, I guess, quality for my running. So I'm gonna convert one of my whiteboards into a weekly calendar and just have everything, just programmed in there. And if one day I just wake up too tired, then screw it. I'm just gonna take a day off from running or whatever it is. So you gotta listen to your body. And last one. All right, let's go with our tandem stance. Right foot in front of our left. Gotta watch what I'm eating too. Yesterday after our classes, I went for a run, was starving, and I had a whole medium pizza by myself. It was thin crust though, but I did eat it all by myself. And then for dinner, I was like, all right, I gotta eat healthier because the lunch was terrible. Let's look left to right. So for dinner, I started off with, I chopped up like 6 small bell peppers and then 1 large one. And I just had them raw, just chopped up finely. And then I had some, they sell these chicken strips at Costco that are breaded and they're pretty, they're pretty, they're refrigerated, so I wouldn't say they're really healthy, but they're healthier than like chicken nuggets for sure. And let's go up and down. And then I just had some pasta in there. And so I had with some light sauce. So it was a pretty clean dinner. And yeah, so I just gotta, I think, put more nutrients into my body too during these times where I think before the summer. All right, we're gonna close our eyes, and again, open your eyes and separate your stance if you feel unsafe. Okay, so we're here. I can't do this and talk at the same time. So wait. Open your eyes. All right, very good. And then let's elevate that hind foot just off the ground. So, because on like a typical spring semester, like, 2 weeks ago, I'm usually burning somewhere between 800 to 1,000 calories, including my run and these classes. And on Wednesday, I think it was like 1,700 calories. And I was just like, okay, let's drive that knee up and back. So you got to readjust. And that's what I tell some of my runners when they stop running for me. I don't try to like scare them or make fun of them, but I'm like, hey, if you stop running, but you continue eating, like if you're running 30, 40, 50 miles, guess what? You're going to see some weight gain. And then they're like, oh, coach, like, I don't think so. We're going to do our quad stretch. So let's grab a hold of our left ankle and pull back. So yeah, I'm like, no, it makes sense. You're going to stop running, when you usually burn about 100 calories per mile. You're used to running 40 to 50 miles a week. I mean, if you do the math, that's about 45,000 calories. And typically 3,600 calories amounts to like 1 pound of fat. At that rate, you're gonna gain about a pound a week if you don't watch it. And so I let them know. And yeah, some of them continue running and some of them just their cheeks just starts falling up a little bit. So very good. All right, let's go ahead and grab our foam roller or broomstick. We're gonna work on our shoulder a little bit. So grab that item. You have that nearby. And let's work on that left shoulder. So right hand pushes, left hand guides. Right, 30 degrees. I was thinking of building the second piece of the Lego car set this weekend, but I feel like I'm gonna burn 1,000 calories just building that. Let's go 60 degrees. So I might just do that on another easy day. Mentally, that it didn't help that I did it in the garage too when it was warm. So we'll see. I gotta catch up to Jan's collection. 90 degrees right in front of you. Debbie, did you make that quilt behind you? Let's go behind.
Yes.
Yeah? How many of those do you have?
I think I've made 5 altogether.
Okay, nice. How long does that take?
Well, I did that one and another one during COVID, and it took 3 more years just to find all the
Ooh,
supplies I needed.
let's go right shoulder up, left hand pushes. Oh man. So if you, let's say you had everything that you needed and you spent, let's say 2 hours each day, how long would that take you?
Probably a month.
Okay, so like 60 hours there.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's a lot. I'm complaining about my 3-hour Lego. 30 degrees. And that's probably a set that would take Jan like 30 minutes, maybe 20.
You know, there's joy in the process.
Yeah,
Right. So.
And frustration.
Yeah.
Frustration
It's,
sometimes.
it's not supposed to be work.
Yeah, it's like building an IKEA furniture piece sometimes when you're almost done completely with everything and you realize one of the boards is upside down. And you're like, what? Oh, that's the worst. 90 seconds.
I'm gonna go to the post office today. My sound is not. Okay.
And then towards the back. Alright, let's go foam roller behind the back and up and down. And raise. Very good. All right, put that off to the side. Take about 30 seconds, grab some water. Alrighty, so we're gonna try some new ones, and they will demand a little bit of strengthening too for this one. So, but we'll try to keep the upper body fresh. So this is all gonna target the lower body for balance, okay? So one of the first movements that we haven't done, we're gonna try out right now. It's gonna be a split squat or like a split lunge, so static. But what I want you to do is you're gonna be in this low position, and if you watch my hind leg, my heel is elevated. What I want you to do with this front leg is lift your heel as well. Okay, so naturally you're gonna elevate your back heel, but then now I want you to elevate this front heel. Okay, and what you're gonna do is just go up and down gently. Okay, so you're on your forefoot on both legs, and we're gonna do 8 of these. And you'll feel that burning right above your knees. All right, once you've done your 8, shake it off. We're gonna treat this like a strength movement, so let's take 30 to 40 seconds recovery. And then we're gonna switch the right leg forward, left leg back. Forget about my water. I think I've had more coffee today than water. That's not good. All right, so right foot forward, left heel back, again split here, heels elevated on both legs, and we're doing 8. Okay, if you need to hold on to a chair, you can always do that, or a counter. But again, we have less surface area, so there's more of a balance component to this. All right, very good. All right, now we're gonna do, what is this called? The crane pose hold. So we're gonna go ahead and slide our heel up to our knee and just hold here. Okay. If you can, and if you want to, you could close your eyes to work on your balance, but again, that just makes it that much more significantly challenging. So your call, but just holding it here for about 30 seconds is good enough. Let's drop. Again, when we're just standing statically on one foot, your arches could get tender, so just give them a little shake, and then let's switch. And you can always make these more challenging by looking left to right or up and down or closing your eyes. So, and back down. Very good. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our standing hip flexors or hip abductions. So we're here and just going ahead and lift. So the whole time that right leg is floating. So at the bottom position, it's not touching the floor. Slightly over, maybe half an inch off the ground. And give me 8 to 12 of these. Remember, any balance movement, the slower you do it, the better. The faster you do it, you're removing the balance component out of it. We'll switch. And then just a reminder, next week we won't be meeting on Friday or Saturday. I'll have videos in lieu of these class sessions. So, and there's also modules in the in each canvas core shell, so plenty of information in those. All right. Oof. All right. Here we go. This one. We did our right foot in front of our left. Let's do our last one, which is going to be our left foot in front of our right. Tandem stance. Left to right. Up and down. Alright, and we're going to close our eyes. Remember, you could open them if you don't feel safe or comfortable. And relax. Alright, very good. Let's actually just grab our chair for about 5 minutes. We'll do some stretches on our chair just to rest our legs. I do want to do a little bit more with our standing position, but not quite yet, and I don't want to go straight to the floor yet. So we'll just spend a couple minutes here. So sit on that left hand, right hand comes over. Good morning, Mr. Ahmed. Let's switch. All right, both hands behind your head and elbows down. Let's do our shoulder circles. So shoulders up, forward, down, back. Woo. Reverse. Let's do a gentle trunk rotation using our chair. So use the seat and the backrest. Just rotate gently. And let's switch. Right, left ankle on that right knee. Gentle push down on that knee. All right, bring that knee up. Let's hug it out. Let's go ahead and switch. Right heel on that left knee. All right, gentle push down on that right side. Tomorrow's the last day of May and we're in June on Monday. So let's bring that knee up. Already almost halfway through the year. Alright, and this is where we're gonna do our strengthening for our balance, so our chair squats. So we'll do 8 of each. So our first 8 are just gonna be regular chair squats, no hand. Push through your heels, stab your heels into the ground. Try not to rock yourself forward, okay? So go ahead and begin. So 8 of these. Make sure that the chair you're on isn't sliding. You're in a safe position, safe space. The chair's not on a carpet that's gonna slide. Awesome. Again, it's a exercise, so I'll take about 40 seconds rest. I'm just gonna pull my toes towards my heels on this one just to relax my arches a little bit. All right, so we're gonna focus on extending or elevating that right leg. So if this is new for you, I would try to extend, at least place my heel on the same position with my right heel where my left toes are, so it's a little bit staggered. And if you could do a little bit more, then just slide it forward a little bit more. So that'd be a good starting position. And give me 8 of these here, okay? And again, same idea, but now most of the work is happening on that left leg that's not extended. We're doing 8 to 10 of these. All right, very good. We'll switch. And when you're ready, go ahead and begin. Awesome. Right, and then just quickly we'll do our ABCs before we transition to standing and then to the floor. Okay. So again, just trace the letters of the alphabet. We'll switch. And then let's go ahead, get on our feet. So we're not gonna do much on our feet. We're just gonna do our heel to toe rock. So for this one, since I do have cement underneath my feet, I'm gonna use my yoga mat. But here, I'm just gonna rock heels to toes, just rocking back and forth, getting a nice calf raise out of it, as well as some tibial work, which is that bone on the lower part be connecting your knee to your ankles, and then also warming up the arches a little bit more. Awesome. So grab your yoga mat. We'll finish off on the floor. I have about 10 minutes left, so close to the finish line. All right. So let's go ahead and get on our side. Resting on my right side. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my left leg as far forward as I can, then drop that heel. Get that stretch on the underside. Just gonna keep that hold for about 25-30 seconds. All right, now let's swing it back as far back as we can and drop it. Should feel that stretch running from your hip down to your knee. Reset. From here, I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my knees a little bit so my feet are stacked, my knees are stacked, hip over hip, and I'm resting on my arm, and I'm just going to do clamshells. Okay, so this is just working on that outside glute, your hip flexors. So give me about 10 to 12 of these, and try to go separate those knees as far as possible. Great. Alright. So you could stretch out your legs a little bit. We're going to stay in the same position. We're going to do book openers from here. We're just going to take advantage that we're leaning on our right side already. So tuck in, stack your hands, and follow your hand, keeping your back fixed on the floor as far back as you can. And come back. We're going to do 8 of these. It's 3. 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Before we switch to the other side, we're gonna do our crab walk toe raise, okay? So, I believe we did this one yesterday. So we're gonna be in this position. You're gonna elevate your hips off the ground. And if you can, you could try to bring your right hand to your left foot. If you can't do that, then just try to alternate elevating your right foot and your left foot. So you're almost doing like a march, okay? But if you can, bring that over. That's definitely, I don't think it's twice as hard. I think it's about 3 or 4 times harder. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's do our marches. And if you can, you could try and tap. I wouldn't do these if your wrists or your shoulders are tender. Just do the regular marching, okay? So just continue. We'll do this for about another 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We're gonna get in a sit-up position. Just for some stability here, we're gonna do our sliding sit-ups. Place your hands on your lap and slide your hands towards your knees. Okay. You're gonna do a total of 30 seconds, so just continue. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. From here, we're gonna go ahead and do 10 glute bridges. So same position where we are. We're just gonna bring our hips off the ground, squeeze the glutes, and then back down. Okay, ready and begin. Squeeze for about 2 seconds before you bring your glutes back down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're just gonna lean on our left side now. So again, we're fully extended on our left side. We're gonna bring that right leg, swing it as far forward as we can. Alright, now that top leg, swing it as far back as you can. Drop that heel. Alright, let's go ahead and tuck in your knees, and from here we want to separate the knees from each other. Okay, so let's do 10. So separate them as far back as you can. Very good. All right, and then now we're gonna go ahead, stack our hands, and follow our hands back behind us. And here. So we're doing 8 of these. So just follow with your eyes, follow your hand. Last one. All right, the last movement we have for this session is just going to be our knee drop. So we're back to that original sit-up position. Hands to your side and just collapse your knees to your left while your back is glued to the floor, and then to the right and left. Right, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do a total of 10, so 5 on each side. All right. Whew. Pretty good session. Burned about, between both sessions, about 300 calories. Not bad for 2 of like our less intense classes. But how's everyone feeling today?